For a lot of us, discussing the differences between sweet potatoes and yams is a Thanksgiving tradition. Here's Hilah to straighten out the confusion.
Hey, I'm Hilah from Hilah Cooking, and today on Home and Garden for Mere Mortals, I'm going to be talking about the differences between yams and sweet potatoes. What's the diff? Here's a quick quiz. Which of these is a true yam? Wrong, unless you said none of them, in which case, you're right. But a lot of people probably said that this is the yam, and in a lot of parts of the US, it is indeed called a yam. It's got orange flesh inside, and I'll cut it open in just a second and show you. But botanically, these are actually all sweet potatoes. They're smooth on the outside. They can be white, they can be red, they can be orange, they can be purple. But the difference between this and a true yam, which a lot of people, if you live in the US, probably haven't even seen. So this is a yam. It's like way uglier than those sweet potatoes. But typically, I think this is a Japanese yam. There's so many different varieties of all of these and so many different names across every language that it is really hard to keep it straight. I believe this is a Japanese yam, and they're totally different species, totally different genus, totally unrelated to sweet potatoes, but they're always kind of hairy like this. But since probably nobody is gonna use this, let's talk about these different sweet potatoes. So you've had sweet potatoes, they're sweet, they're starchy. Let's open up this one first. This is a Garnet sweet potato. There's Jewel sweet potatoes, there's Beauregard sweet potatoes. Those are all varieties of orange flesh sweet potatoes. So there's this like milky sap that comes out. Use these for your sweet potato casserole at Thanksgiving. You can slice them up into French fries, peeled or unpeeled. I like to do slices a little less than a ½ inch. And then that direction. Toss them with a little bit of oil, salt and pepper, chili powder, any kind of spices you want, and put them in the oven at 450 for about 20 minutes. Give them a little toss halfway through for some nice sort of baked sweet potato fries / roasted sweet potatoes until they're nice and tender and brown on the outside. You can also cook them in a slow cooker, and I've got a few here. All I did was get a couple of sweet potatoes, scrub them really well, leave the skins damp, and then put them in the slow cooker for about 3 to 4 hours on high or 6 to 8 hours on low. So there's the regular like Garnet sweet potato, and then I also did one of these white ones. So talk about this one for a minute. This is called a Jersey sweet potato or a white sweet potato. I find them a lot less sweet and a lot less moist than an orange or a Garnet sweet potato. You can still use all of these interchangeably in recipes that call for sweet potatoes. I'll show you what the inside of this one looks like. See, it's very white, but you can see, hopefully you can see in the camera, they both have this like ring around the edge where this like milky sap is coming out. So anyway, that's what the inside of this one looks like. And then here's one that's been cooked in the slow cooker until it's tender. I'll show you the difference in the texture between the Jersey sweet potato and the Garnet sweet potato. See, this is just a lot, hopefully you can see this. This just is a lot softer, moister, and then the Jersey one is still pretty firm and almost fibrous on the inside. It's still good. Mash it up with some butter, put it in your casserole, anything like that. One thing I love to do with baked sweet potatoes is cut them open and then put some like chili on top for just sort of a one dish meal. And you can bake a batch of sweet potatoes in your crock pot or in the oven and then just keep them in the fridge. So you have cooked sweet potatoes at any moment. And then finally, this is the purple sweet potato. I think it's Stokes purple is what it'll often be labeled as. So I'll show you the inside of this one. And what's great about this is a lot of purple vegetables lose their color, like purple beans and stuff will lose their color as they cook, but this keeps its color. And even like purple potatoes, those purple Peruvian potatoes, they fade a lot when you cook them, but these stay nice and vibrant. So they're like a really, really pretty addition. And I've got one of those here that I cooked in the crock pot too. And again, you can tell this is a lot drier looking than the orange sweet potato, but the purple ones to me are really, really sweet. They're the sweetest of all the sweet potatoes. And I'll do fries with these two, oven fries, with the purple potatoes, and my toddler loves to just pick them up and chew on them. Same with the orange ones. Another thing I like to do with orange sweet potatoes is chop them up and boil them and then make sort of a warm salad, and I'll do a cilantro pesto with some cilantro and some garlic and some jalapeno and a little bit of grainy mustard. It sounds weird, but it's super delicious, and I think that you should try it. Okay, I think I covered the basics. There's so many edible tubers and roots around the world. It does get really confusing. So leave me a comment if you think that I got it wrong, or if you want to hear about any other tubers. I also bought a taro root just to show you, just to make it even more confusing. This is unrelated to sweet potatoes or yams, but a lot of places call it a yam. So just goes to show what's in a name. Apparently a lot. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Home and Garden for Mere Mortals. You can click that button right down there, and come visit me at my channel at Hilah Cooking for lots of sweet potato recipes and other recipes. Okay, bye.